Finally tonight, the former Prime Minister Liz Truss has been heckled during an appearance at the Edinburgh Fringe. Last night, she walked on stage to a mix of cheers and boos from the audience, and at one point was even heckled by an audience member after refusing to apologise for her time in Downing Street. Now, we couldn't get the real Liz Truss on tonight, but we've got the next best thing. Female impersonator Nerine Skinner, whose show The Exorcism of Liz Truss is on every night at the Edinburgh Fringe, and I asked her what she made of her subject's appearance at the festival.
I can't actually believe that she's appeared there because I feel like she's following me. I think she's got hold of my schedule and just went, all right, I'm gonna try and sabotage Nerine Skinner wherever she goes. I mean, it's brilliant. It's quite good for me for the press, and I can keep her going and keep her relevant as long as I can. But also, I mean, it's just she happened to do a talk at the same time that my show was on, so I think she really is trying to sabotage me.
I mean, what do you make of the fact that, she appeared last night at this event and she got heckled and booed as she tried to defend her mini budget and then blamed the person who heckled her for the mess the country's in right now?
I mean, that is a disgrace. It's me here, Liz. I just had to jump on it just to tell you all that, it wasn't my fault. I did nothing wrong. And I think, the people need to know that. So, there you go.
You've got the voice spot on and a laugh as well.
Yeah, I don't know where the laugh has come from, but I really enjoy it. It's like a massive exaggeration of her. Yesterday, I sort of did this thing where, because she was doing her talk, and I said, that's Liz Truss is the fake one. She's an imposter, and that mine is the real one. So you should come see my show, not hers.
Because there was this worry for a while that politicians were becoming a bit dull and you couldn't impersonate them. But actually, Liz Truss, she's got a very distinctive way of speaking, hasn't she?
Yeah, she really has. There's sort of like a nasal quality to her, like that. She's always got a cold, and I think, maybe she needs to get her sinuses checked, perhaps. But at first, because it all started as a bit of a joke for me, because some friends just said I looked a little bit like her, so I thought, okay, I'll do this thing, because I didn't actually realise who she was. I thought she was a comedian at first, parodying politicians, and so I realised she was real, and that's the way she spoke, and so it was the voice that I picked up on first, because it's so distinctive, and there aren't that many political figures in particular that have that such a defined voice at the moment. I mean, there are, obviously you've got like Boris Johnson and Donald Trump, and there are particular sounds, but she really does have a distinctive one that's really fun to parody. Just
give us a sense of the kind of things that she says. So when you impersonate her, what are your sort of favourite go-tos?
Well, my first thing I've always started with is pork markets in Beijing. That's my way of getting into her voice, because it's just she goes up at the end of her sentences, and I always have to, obviously you can't see me, but I'm using my hands at the moment to, she's always got these kind of like claw-like hands, and they're always out to the side. So pork markets in Beijing, that is a disgrace, is my other one. I like to always use, I don't accept the premise of that statement. She always has these sort of little gaps of pause, these awkward pauses, before she then finishes the sentence. So I usually use that before I get into my parodies, just to help me.
And what is it that fascinates you about Liz Truss? In fact, fascinates all of us.
I'm really fascinated by just the way that she conducts herself. I love the confidence that she has. I wish I had more of that. I'm worried that we have a lot in common, actually, because I am very indecisive and she makes a lot of U-turns. So I'm concerned that I'm actually developing a codependency with her, and I'm stalking her as much as she is me now. But I think it is just, she seems to just have this, like, I'm doing this thing and I don't care what anyone's thinking. And I sort of wish I could have more of that. I mean, it's not great for the rest of the country, in terms of crashing the economy. My parody version of her is almost like a clown that sort of doesn't know where to go or any given point, but just keeps turning up. I quite like it. It's almost like there's a childish quality, like a 12-year-old or a teenager that's sort of just looking for approval all the time.
What do you think Liz Truss would say if she met you and she realised that you were taking the mickey out of her?
I like to think that she wouldn't realise. I'd like to think that she'd be like, "Oh, it's me," and looking in the mirror. Wow, don't I look good? I sort of like the idea that she would come along and just have a laugh because she wouldn't realise that I was a parody of her.
That's Nerine Skinner there. The Exorcism of Liz Truss is on at the Fringe at 2:40 every afternoon.